Okay, we are going to start the second tutorial, SketchUp Basics Part 2, where we're going to design a simple house. So while you're in D2L, you're in Unit 4 3D Design, Google SketchUp for 3D Design, and then click on SketchUp Basics Part 2. Okay, go to the assignment, and let's take a look what it entails. So it says to continue learning to use SketchUp, watch the video below, which will be this video linked right here, revealing how to design a simple house. The following items will be discussed in the video. Okay, so all of these items, while we're drawing our simple house, you're going to see how these tools actually work while you're designing something. So line, rectangle, push, pull, something called inferencing to snap to critical points, tape measure tool, offset, copy, move, rotate, something really important called groups versus components, okay, intersecting faces, and then how to save and export the file as a PNG. When you're done your simple house, okay, you are going to make sure that you constantly pause, rewind the tape or the video so that you can keep up with what I am doing step by step. Okay, once you're complete, export the file as a PNG and submit in this assignment file here. Okay, so let's go into SketchUp. I'll show you kind of the completed version of what I want to design, and then I'm going to take you through and how to do it from scratch. Remember, pause the video often and try to keep up with what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to use keyboard shortcuts as much as I can. So L for line, R for rectangle, P for push-pull, T for tape measure. I'm going to be using those keyboard shortcuts just to speed things along a little bit more quickly. Okay, so let's go in to SketchUp. When you go to SketchUp.com, you'll be taken to this page. Okay, I'm already signed in, so I just need to click on this little person icon and go to My Apps. Okay, and we are going to launch SketchUp for web. Okay, and you'll be taken to your home page for SketchUp. Here's a recent file that I have that I just quickly put together, the type of simple house we're going to be putting together. Okay, this is just to practice our basic skills. So if I open this just to show you roughly what our final version will look like when it's all said and done, we're going to have 2 or 3 windows, a door. Each of those has a frame. Okay, each of those has a frame around it. We'll put in a roof, a dormer. This is called a dormer up here with a roof on top. And then we are going to put materials on here, brick, roofing, some aluminum eaves troughs there, some wood frames there. Okay, so we'll put some materials on this at the very end. Okay, so I'm going to start this from scratch, and please just follow along, pause the video. Okay, so let's open, create new. I'll do it in feet and inches. Okay, so you can see our person shows up there, and I want to reiterate the fact that I am using my scroll wheel on my mouse. I press the scroll wheel to orbit. Okay, press the scroll wheel to orbit. Zoom in and out is just moving my scroll wheel up and down. Okay, and if I press my scroll wheel, and hold shift, for some reason it doesn't want to work well there. There you go. Okay, and I hold shift, then I can pan across. So press the scroll wheel to rotate. Okay, for some reason my mouse is not cooperating. Hopefully that works okay once we start our drawing. Okay, so I'm going to be doing that a lot. So practice that and get good at that before you move on and begin. Okay. Okay. So let's start by creating our rectangle, and I'm going to create it to size. I'm going to draw it on the floor plane here. So I'm going to press R for rectangle. Okay, and I can start it anywhere here. You can see the dimensions are showing up in the bottom right corner. I'm going to make this house, let's go 35 feet wide. So I do 35 apostrophe and then comma 25 feet by length. Okay, press enter and you can see it's created the base of the home. I'm going to pan over, so press my scroll wheel and then hold shift. Okay, so I can see my home there, or my base there. Next, what I'll do is just push-pull this up the desired height. So I can press P, or I can click on the push-pull tool, but I'll press P. And now I push it up a little bit, and now I let go of my mouse, and now I can actually type in a value. I'm going to make this about 15 feet tall, this house, okay? Let's just zoom out of there. So 15 apostrophe. Next, I want to add the roof, and here's a little shortcut on how to do a roof. So I'm going to press the line command, okay? And notice when I hover over the center of this line, I get that blue dot. That means I'm at the midpoint of this line. That's what I want. I want to be at the midpoint. And I want to click and drag my line across to the other midpoint on the other side. Okay. Here's a little trick on creating a quick and simple roof. Okay. I want you to press the select tool or the space bar on your keyboard and select the line. Okay. If you're on a PC at this point, okay, you are going to hold Alt. Okay, hold Alt and drag this line up. On my Mac, however, it is the Command button. Okay, so for PC it's Alt, for me it's Mac. So what I'm going to do is press the Move tool. Okay, Move, or M on your keyboard. Hold Command or Alt if you're on PC. And then just hover over anywhere. I'll hover over the center point, the midpoint of that line, and then click. So I'm holding Command, click and hold, and drag up. Okay, click and hold. So I'm holding Command and I'm clicking and holding my mouse and dragging up. Practice that. Okay, so pause the video there to try to get that right. Notice that I'm dragging up on what's called my blue axis. That means I'm going straight up. If I veer from that, it's going to create something that does not look like a roof. So I want to just go straight up where it says blue axis, follow that, and then let go of everything. Now I can enter a dimension of how tall I want that to be. So let's just say I want that roof height to be, let's go with 9 feet. Okay. Probably a little bit too much, but that's okay. Okay, now next, we have to show some overhang for this roof. As it stands now, I have no overhang, which I don't like, right? This doesn't look realistic. So what I'm going to do now is draw lines and push-pull those sections as an overhang. Okay, here's what I mean. So watch this. I'm going to draw a line going across, but I want it to be a consistent all the way around the house. I want it to be a consistent line. So I'm going to use the tape measure tool, T on your keyboard. Click this line here and drag it down. Notice how it says 1 foot there and 7 inches. Let's not drag it down that much. Let's do it 8 inches. So I type 8. And then inches is the quotation marks. You can see in the bottom right corner of the screen. Okay. Flip the house around. Let's do the same thing on this side. Click, let go, drag down, and type 8, quotation mark. Okay, so I have these construction lines now, where now what I'll do is, with my line tool, actually draw a real line going across here. Okay, orbit around. Okay, hold your scroll wheel. Remember that you can also orbit by clicking on this tool here. Okay, so I've drawn those lines. Perfect. Next though, I want to draw the lines going up here as well. So what I'm going to do, now this could be tricky sometimes, okay? So what I'm going to do is click on this line here, let go, and drag down. Be really careful, because a lot of times it draws these weird lines from here. Take this angle so you can see that it's actually drawing on the house and not somewhere else, okay? So actually take kind of like a real angled view of it. And every time I'm orbiting, I'm just clicking my scroll wheel, okay? Let's do 8 inches from there as well. So 8. Okay, and you can see that everything will line up. So again, let's go from here as well. Okay, change the angle so that you can see that it's actually doing it along the house, right there. Okay, that looks okay. Let's go to the other side. Make sure that it's drawing it on that face of the wall. Okay, 8 inches. And go to this side. 8 inches. Okay, now we're going to draw our lines. So select the line tool. Go from this corner to this corner to this corner right there. Okay? If you want, at this point, we can actually start to erase. And let's just zoom out there. Okay. Pan across. Okay, so you can see how critical it is that you get used to panning, zooming, and orbiting really quick. See how quickly I'm able to do it? That just takes practice. So practice that as much as possible. Okay, I can now erase all of these imaginary lines there. So press E on your keyboard for erase, or press the erase tool. We can just get rid of all of these. We don't need them anymore. Okay. Okay, now we're going to use the push-pull tool. Watch. And let's get a consistent push-pull. Let's pull this eaves trough over, let's say, 6 inches. So I press push-pull, grab this section here, click and let go, and drag it out. Okay, but we only want to drag it 6 inches. So type 6, quotation marks. Go to the other side. 6, quotation marks. Now watch this weird thing, okay? Be careful here. Look what happens when I pull this out. That's not what I want, is it? That is not what I want. So instead, okay, I'm actually going to push this house in 6 inches, this wall. So I'm going to click here, and now I clicked and I dragged and let go. I'm going to do it 6 inches. Again here. Click, hold, and drag, let go, and type 6 inches. And now you get this overhang going around everywhere. And actually, I would like a little bit more of an overhang. So I'm going to do 2 more inches inwards. Do 2 more inches for this as well. Okay, so we've got our roof of our house. Let's add in a door, some windows, and then in the end we'll do the dormers. Okay, so with the door, what I wanted to show you is a couple things. Is the importance of making a group. So I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so I'm going to draw the door randomly anywhere. Look at the dimensions down here. A door typically is going to be, okay, roughly, let's say, 4 feet wide. So 4 apostrophe and then comma, and let's say 8 feet tall. Okay. I'm going to use now what's called the offset tool to draw a frame around this door. The offset tool is found in the push-pull tool. If you click, it's that last one right there, offset. Click inside the door and let go, and you can see now you can draw a frame. So go to the outside of the door. We can easily erase this here. Just press E on your keyboard. Okay, and there's a very simple frame. I'm not going to go too complicated with the frame, but obviously you can make a much nicer frame than this. I mean, you can add another offset, for example, to here, right? So you can do another one that's even bigger than that, and then again, erase anything coming off of the house. Okay, now I'm going to push-pull some of this frame. So push-pull tool right there, or P on your keyboard. Let's do this skinny part out there, and then let's do this part, and we won't go all the way, we'll go to about there. Okay, so that's just a very simple frame. Now watch what I do now. Okay, this is really, really important. Press the spacebar or the select tool, spacebar on your keyboard. I'm going to select this house and I'm going to show you how to move it. Okay, so I need to select this house and I'm going to make it a group. And this way from now on, okay, see right now when I click, I have to click on individual parts of this door. Okay, but watch this. If I make a window selection, so I click and hold and I drag around this whole door, I can right click and make that a group. But look at how I selected the door. Notice how I went from left to right, my selection window, left to right, and I select the whole door. Okay, look what happens if I don't select the whole door. It selects nothing. When you go from left to right with the selection tool, you have to select entire lines. So I have to, like, watch if I select all the way across, it'll select 3 of those horizontal lines because I selected all of them in my window. Okay. If I want to select the entire door, I go left to right, okay, left to right, and I select all of those lines. If you go from right to left, you only have to touch the line and it'll select the entire line. Did you see that? So right to left is a different selection method. Is all you have to do is touch the lines and it selects the entire lines, including the surfaces. But that's too much. I want to go left to right so that I can put a window around the entire door. Okay, right click, make group. Okay, now it's a group. So now anytime I click on the door, it selects the entire door because I've grouped everything. Okay, so I'm going to move this. So I select the door, then I press move, and I can grab a point and simply slide it across, okay, wherever I want. So let's just leave the door there for now. Okay, press spacebar for the select tool and just click away. Okay, let's do windows, and for the windows, I'm not going to make them a group, I'm actually going to make them a component, and I'm going to explain to you the difference. Okay, so I'm going to make windows, and I'm going to place the windows specifically so it's symmetrical. So I'm going to use the tape measure tool to go from this line. Let's say I want the window to be 2 feet in. okay? And 2 feet down, let's say, from this line, okay? And I want the same thing from here, 2 feet in from here. So it's symmetrical. I'm going to put 2 windows going across. Okay, there you go. Let's now do a rectangle starting in this corner. Okay, and let's do a frame around here. So choose the offset tool. Okay, and we can make it okay. And back to the select tool. All right, so I'm pretty happy with that. Now what I'm going to do is push pull my frame. Okay, that's going to be my window frame. And you can choose how much you push pull, by the way. So I can do that. So maybe I only want this overhang to be, right now it's 9 inches. Let's say it's only going to be 5 inches. And this frame here, I will do 3 inches. Okay? All right. So I'm now going to, I want this identical window on this side, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay? I'm going to show you here how I make an identical window on the other side. And I'm going to do so first by using the select tool, selecting my whole window from left to right. Okay. Right click. Instead of make group, I'm going to do make component. And let me explain why. Because I'm making a copy of this, I want to make it a component. Okay. Because what happens is then when I edit one of those components, it'll edit every window. Right? If I've decided I want the windows to be the same, I don't want to make individual changes to the windows. I want to make it a component so that if I make a change to one window, it will make the change to the other. Okay? So I'm going to make it a component, and I'm just going to call it window. Press OK. All right. Now, how do I move this copy over in this corner? So I'm going to rotate around. Okay. What I want to do is I want to grab that little corner right there and drag it to this corner right there. So I'm going to press the move tool. I've already selected, the window is selected. You can see it's selected. Press the move tool. Click this corner. Okay. Okay. Now, if you are on a PC, okay, you are going to hold the control button. If you're on a Mac, you're going to hold the option button. Okay, and you can see it made a copy as soon as I press the option button. So again, let me hit escape. If you're on, so I'm going to click, okay, but that's not making a copy yet. But as soon as you hold control, if you're on a PC, it'll make a copy. If you're on a Mac, okay, so I clicked, now I hold down option, and all of a sudden it makes a copy. Okay, let's pan across. Right there. There you go. Definitely pause the video and practice that. If you notice what I did is, again, when after I selected everything and I held and I pressed option on my Mac or control on your PC, I held shift and my scroll wheel to pan across. Okay, shift and my scroll wheel to pan across. You've got to really get good at that. That will save you a lot of time. Okay. All right. What I want to show you now is how to use the rotate tool. So let's say I wanted to put a window right here. Okay, so I'm going to grab the tape measure And let's say right around there. Actually, let's move it even more. Let's go 5 feet from the edge here. Okay, and then from here, from the bottom, let's put it right about, let's say 12 feet. Okay, so I'm going to put the corner of the window right there. Okay, now watch this here. I'm going to show you how to use the rotate tool. So with this selected, okay, press the move tool again because we're going to make a copy. Okay, I am now going to click on anywhere here. So I'll click on this corner. Okay, but I'm going to hold Command on my keyboard or Control on your PC. Sorry, Option on my keyboard or Control on your PC. And move this window out. Okay, but clearly I need to rotate this window to get it to this corner here. And I don't know what happened to my tape measure there. Okay. All right, so I'm going to drag it now to this corner. I'll take this corner right there and drag it here, but first I need to rotate this object. To rotate, this is something new. You're going to choose in the Move tool, you will see a Rotate button. Okay, click on that. What you want to do now is you want to rotate it along the ground, 90 degrees. So zoom in here. Okay, click right there. See how you get that blue compass? Click there. Okay, then it wants you to click again. So we can click, let's just go straight across. And now we can rotate. It should snap into 90 degrees. So again, let's go back. Get your rotate tool, click on a corner, but you need the blue compass so that it's along the ground. Click once. Drag it out horizontally, click twice. And now just move your mouse in the direction that you want to rotate it, and it should snap to what's called your green axis there. Okay, now I can easily just move this into position. So I'm going to drag this around, press my move button, click on this corner, and drag it. And let go. Or click, sorry, wasn't a good explanation. Click, let go, and just move your mouse to here, and then click for it to go in that spot. Okay? Alright, so we've got a whole bunch of lines to erase here. Press E and just get rid of all of these imaginary lines, these construction lines. Okay, make this look a lot cleaner. The last thing I want to do is draw my dormer. Okay, that little extra piece of house coming out of the roof. So what I'll do now is use the tape measure tool. Okay, click on this edge. I want to put my dormer, let's say, right around here, and from here, let's say, go up about this high. Okay. Yeah, that seems about good. And then from here, we'll go from about there. Okay, so I just kind of put those wherever. I didn't actually measure it out, but now at least I know where to draw my line. So watch what I do now. Is I will select my line tool, click, okay, and I draw my first line. Then from there, go straight up. And I'm just hovering my mouse I want it to snap to that spot right there. You can see that yellow line going across. I believe it's yellow. Okay, it's not really. There you go, right there. You can see that it's a blue line that went straight up, and then there's that yellow dash line. So you're going to have to play around with the angle until you get that. Okay? That means that you've lined it up perfectly with the top of where you drew that line. Okay? So let me do that again. So you're going to draw a line from here to here. Then drag your mouse up. You can see the blue line. Oh, and there you go. It snaps to that yellow dash line. And now click, and then click again to close it. Now, push-pull. Let's make this, let's say, 6 feet across. Okay. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll draw the roof. So I'm going to draw a line going this way. Line. Midpoint. Just hover over the midpoint. Click. And click. Okay, now just like I did with the original roof, okay, I am going to press move, actually first, sorry, select the line, then press move. Okay, on my keyboard, it's Command on my Mac keyboard. If you're on your PC, you hold Alt. Okay, but I'm going to hold Command. So I press Command and I hold, click, and hold your mouse button and drag it up. So I'm holding Command and holding my mouse button. I'm going to drag it up. I could specify a dimension, but it's not too important here. Just make sure you're on the blue axis. You see the blue axis there? That means it's going straight up. Now let go of your mouse button, let go of Command or Alt. Okay. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Now you can see it's open over here. You can fix that really easily just by drawing a line. It needs a closed shape, so just draw a line going across here, and it should close that triangle. And then what you can do is just push-pull that triangle right through to the house. Okay? And let's erase this line. Erase this line. And do one more thing. You can see that it's not showing a line intersecting here. There's a way to fix that. Okay, press the select tool. Select your entire dormer left to right. Right click, intersect faces with model. And now you can see it's drawn those lines there. It intersected the roof with this other roof. Okay? All right, let's erase here, here, here. Don't need those anymore. Now I need to do my actual eaves trough here. So what I'll do is use my tape measure tool, click on this edge. Let's do, see, there you go, be careful. There's no way that this should be, okay, there you go, 8 inches. Don't, see how it's a okay, right there. Maybe change the angle so you know that it's drawing on the actual wall there. Let's do 6 inches here, 6 inches here. Six inches here, and again change the angle so you can see that it's drawing on the wall itself. Oops. Change the angle. 6 inches. Okay, now we're going to draw our lines. erase. Okay, and now what we'll do is push-pull out here. Okay, and for this, again, remember, you can't pull this out. So that was just Control Z for undo or Command Z for undo. I'm going to actually push this in instead. Oh, it's not letting me push in. Okay, little problem there. Okay, so it's giving me a little bit of an issue there, and that's odd that it's doing that. There may be some sort of mistake here. Okay, let's see if we can erase that there. Let's see what happens if I redraw this line. Okay, now it let me. So if I go back, what happened there? So if that happens to you and it's not letting you push in, okay, I hit erase, and I got rid of this line, and then it showed me that there's these weird lines in here, and I erased them. That was obviously preventing me from doing what I wanted to do there. And now I drew the line back in, the one that I wanted right here. And now when I push pull, it lets me do it. Okay. Now hit erase, get rid of that line, that line. Okay, and there you go. All right, so I'm not going to put a window there. Normally you would put a window there. Last thing I'm going to do really quick is just put some materials on. And I'll let you kind of put whatever materials you want on, but I'll just show you really quick how to do it. You press this button on the right, it's called the materials button. Okay, and if you choose the search or the browse button there, you can see there's all kinds of different materials. So let's do brick. Let's choose maybe this brick right there. And then you just literally color in the paint, like it's kind of like a paint bucket, and you just go around, and whatever you want to have that brick, you give it that, you just click. Okay, let's do the roofing. Okay, let's do this roofing right there. Okay, the frame, I would probably do a color. Okay, I would probably do a color for the frame. Oh, and I forgot the brick here. Forgot to do this. Okay. So I'll let you play around with that. The one I will do is glass and mirrors. I'll just put this glass right there on the. Oop. See what happened? See how it did it to the whole window? Don't want that. There's a reason why I did that, because we made that a component. So watch this. Press the select tool. Double click in your component. Okay. Now press the glass. And you can see, because we made it a component, it changed the glass to the other window as well. And it should have done it to this window too. It did. Okay, so when I press the select tool again, double click outside the component, you can see that it did it there as well. Now, I probably made a bit of a mistake earlier in terms of having these windows a little bit too close. So let's try something here. Let me just double click, move, because you're still seeing the bricks for some reason. Okay, so for whatever reason, those bricks are still showing up there. Okay, it's not the end of the world. At the end of the day, you can just do window coverings. Okay. So you could do window coverings as well, it's up to you. But anyways, just play around with those materials. I don't want this video to go on too long. Okay, play around with it, and you can choose a color for the frame. Okay, you can choose a color for the eaves troughs as well. Okay, and when you're done, simply go make sure that you name this something. So click on Untitled, click on SketchUp. I'll put it in my test folder, and I'll call it test 1, 2, 3, 4. Save. Okay, so let it save. And then when you're done, okay, I want you to do a PNG file. So press the folder button, export PNG. Okay, and then save it to your computer somewhere and upload the file on D2L. Okay, that concludes this tutorial.